All right, guys, we are back. Married at First Sight, season 11, episode 9. Opening up is hard to do.
That's the name of the episode.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I didn't catch that.
I looked it up.
Oh, all right.
All right, so we're going to start with Miles and Karen today. So opening up, Miles fixed Karen's car.
Yep.
I'm wondering what was wrong with her car because this is like the second or third episode we've talked about Karen's car troubles.
I bet you it's probably the same.
I mean, I'm not saying that it's
Trouble.
another trouble. I'm just
But-
saying, like, it's just, we keep talking about this
Yeah.
car trouble.
I mean, that's his claim to fame, man.
Did he
That's
fix
how
a carburetor?
That's how he helped his wife out that time.
That's
just fixing
nice.
her car.
Oh, go ahead.
Nah, I was gonna say, man, that was Miles had set up a dinner with his chef came in.
Chef homeboy.
Chef homeboy came in and they fixed dinner for Karen because apparently she likes to cook. And
Mhm.
she's a foodie. So
I think we learned she was a foodie on the honeymoon because remember they were in
oh
bed
yeah,
and
she like ate everything.
like
She
they
named like
named-
18 things.
Yeah, she was like, and salmon and rice and mangoes. Ooh, the mango. It was like, girl.
Anyway, so Miles set up a dinner for them, and I thought that was very thoughtful and
Romantical.
romantic. Yeah, but it gave them opportunity to actually talk with each other and kind of like go down through some things and stuff like that. So
During that dinner, she did mention in the confessional about the dinner, she mentioned that she wanted someone to be able to anticipate her needs. And she felt like he was finally coming around to doing that. And I'm like, y'all been married for 2 weeks. 7 of those days were on the honeymoon. Nobody can anticipate your needs on the honeymoon because literally that's what the staff is for.
yeah.
That's their job to like anticipate every need that you could possibly have at any given moment. So it was hard to leave room
Yeah.
for him to do that.
Right. And I think with Karen and Miles' situation, I feel like they came in with a false sense of what this experience was going to be like.
Mhm.
I think Karen came in with the experience or with the idea of, I don't know, like I'm gonna leave because she has a heavy door that he's having to break down.
Mhm.
And he's like an open spirit, but when they talk to each other or their needs and their requests, it's like, you should know these already.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And because you're my husband or because you're my wife, you should know the things that I want and need.
Mhm.
Because we've been together, we're getting to know each other, but they're truly not getting to know each other because they're allowing and this is what I feel, or, what I'm looking at.
Mhm.
I feel like they're allowing the idea of them being married take over them actually getting to know each other and actually
I could see that.
learning to enjoy each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I got from that whole confessional part.
So after that, this episode, all the couples got an expert card.
Yep.
Where they talked about love and feelings and gushy
All the
things.
mushy gushy stuff.
So one of the things that Karen said that she wanted to know that she was falling in love. She said she had to know that she felt safe with the person and that she can come to him about anything. And I don't think that she's trying to feel safe with him and that she can come to him with anything. Like she's using her masculinity guard.
Yeah, man. That
I need a new card.
Right. That masculinity thing is a cop out to me.
You played your big joker and your little joker. They was both the masculinity card. Like, let's find some space.
Find something else, man.
One of the things that Miles got into during that conversation that like I'm happy, and I'm sure therapy brought this out for him, was him being reflective of how his parents' divorce impacted him.
Yeah.
They divorced when he was 9, and he said that at that point in life, he immediately tried to become the peacemaker.
Right.
Between his parents. And that's a lot for a 9-year-old.
Right, exactly.
And I think that him trying to become the peacemaker between his parents has definitely impacted how he views relationships. Like, he does not want it to be a battle of any sort, no conflict. He's just like, whatever I can do to smooth things over, I'm going to do. And that is the person that he's presenting.
Right.
So like in that regard, I do see him as being his authentic self. And although I never thought that Miles wasn't being his authentic self.
Right. Miles is a people pleaser, but we found out the reason because of his parents breaking up like that. But the thing about it, or the conversation that I feel like, I don't know if they had that conversation with him or not, but they should have had that conversation with him of, this is why we broke up.
Because, well, a lot of Black parents aren't going to do that.
But the reason why I say that is because so he doesn't have this false sense of how marriage should be. Because honestly, him being so, and Karen talked about it too, him being so, what do you need? What do you want? How can I help? Towards her is a turnoff, and pushes her away. Because at this point, it's not about Miles. It's all about Karen. And yeah, they say happy wife, happy life, but happy spouse, happy house. You know what I'm saying? You still have to care for yourself to care for somebody else.
I don't feel like Karen is giving him enough to care about.
Karen definitely has a guard up.
Like, and he's like, well, I can't tell you what I need because I can't even get to you.
Look, Karen is playing all NBA defensive first team.
She on the
defensive
team.
Player of the year.
She's on the Olympic team.
I'm here to tell you, man. But it's something that they have to work through because they. Unlike everybody else, unlike me and you, they have an opportunity to actually sit down, and their main focus is to get to know one another. You know, where they're told, hey, we have to get to know each other because after 8 weeks, we're going to have to make a decision on if we're going to stay married or if we're going to get a divorce. I want to actually take an effort in doing this because I don't see anybody getting into any type of relationship looking to break up.
For the most part, no.
Yeah. So that was one thing. What else you got for it? Because I got some more stuff.
Oh, I was just
that's going to be more towards the end.
Yeah, I was going to go into the end now.
Oh.
So they went grocery shopping. After grocery shopping, Karen cooked dinner and they talked while they were cooking dinner. And Miles brought up emotional intelligence versus masculinity. And I thought that was a very interesting thing for him to bring up because I do think that that's Karen's issue is that she's viewing emotional intelligence as a feminine quality instead of as a people quality.
A person quality.
Yeah.
Like men have feelings too.
And it's okay to share them, just not too much. But that's just me in general. I don't want men sharing feelings or women sharing feelings too much. Like, don't feel around me like that.
Yeah.
Like, just
you're a weirdo.
It's okay. And then we get into probably what you want to discuss, which was Miles attempting to have the expectations talk about physical intimacy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to
I know it was what you wanted to talk about. So he wanted to discuss her physical needs and why she was shying away from the conversation.
Yeah, and she said, what bothered me in that whole thing, because he presented it. Like, for me, that would have took me 2 weeks to figure out how to present this.
It's taken him 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. Like, that would have been a conversation I would have ran in my head for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
But he presented it well. He laid out all the facts. He countered with her counter well, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And
you looked at me like it was like I'm Karen. Are you ready to fight me?
No. But I think he did a wonderful job in trying to figure out what it is that he could do to have sex with his wife or start to move towards that, because you can tell that they ain't been too intimate with each other. Those kisses probably are the only kisses that they did throughout this
Those are strategic kisses,
right
for the camera.
Look, you gotta kiss me.
Right. There was one of them big lip kisses too, where you stretch all the way out.
But the biggest issue that I had was throughout that whole conversation, he wrote "sex with my spouse" on some day on that calendar on the refrigerator, and she was like, he disrespected me.
That had to be in the very near future if it was on the calendar.
Right.
Because it ain't no 3-month calendar.
It would have been Wednesday. I would have wrote it on Friday. Give you a day to, figure out your life. But
oh my goodness.
It's going down Friday. But no, like she said, that was disrespectful towards her. And I was like, how?
She said it made her feel unsafe.
That's it. It made her feel unsafe. How?
So I'm wondering, has she had some trauma? Because let's just, and I'm not trying to put anything on her, but let's just say like maybe she had been violated by someone close to her.
Never thought about that. Damn.
Then I could see that making me feel unsafe. Yeah. Especially like, say it was like a family friend. That's someone that you are okay with being in close proximity with, and they crossed the line. Yeah. And Miles was someone that she was okay with being in close proximity with, and she could have viewed that as overstepping the line or the boundary.
But even that, Lord forbid something like that happened. But even with that, I would feel, from Miles' standpoint, I never would know that.
Correct. Because unlike him, she doesn't lay things out. Like he's like, I'm clinically depressed.
Right.
This is how I feel like this is how I deal with it. What can we do?
But I feel like if something like that happened and we're having a conversation now, don't just come out of left field and be like, hey, I was, put in an uncomfortable situation or been in an uncomfortable. But if we're talking about it, because his whole thing was, how do we get to become more intimate with each other? How do we get there?
I think that's a conversation that's going to happen off camera, because if something uncomfortable happened to her, I'm not comfortable sharing that with the world.
I can get that.
So we probably will never know.
We probably won't know, but we'll see the end parts of
if they ever
do it. So hopefully they do. So.
All right, so up next, Amelia and Bennett. So we start out with Bennett being sick, and Amelia went and got him some ginger for his tea. I don't know how this came up in the production conversation, but we found out that they were having sex. They did it. Why are you so childish with this? Bennett said, and
GTD.
I had to put this in direct quotes because it made me chuckle. I'm satisfied with her current level of physical intimacy. That is a very Bennett answer.
You go, boy.
Anything else to say about sex?
Nah, that's all I got.
They got their expert card and talked about feelings of love. They both felt like they were getting close to feeling love, but neither one of them felt like that was...
They're in love.
Correct. Which 2 weeks, I don't...
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
He said he loves her, but not in love with her.
That's
what
cool.
Bennett said.
That's cool. We got to the point where they were going to spend a day out together. So everybody did an outing of some sort.
Yeah.
So what did she call it? Slap lining. They were going slap lining. I had to listen 5 different times to hear her say this, because I was like, slap lining? What is that? I still don't know what slap lining is. I mean, I watched it.
Wire walking or something. I don't know. Tree walking. I don't know. He walked the line.
So her friend came over and helped her bake a cake, but they forgot the cake was on the counter when he came from the back.
It's 2 things with that. First one, where was they supposed to put the cake?
I don't know. You need a cake cover.
But what do you do with it? Because how do you hide a cake from me? How would you hide a cake from me? Exactly. So
I would wait until right before I'm about to present it to you to bring it in the house. But they baked it.
Yeah, they made it in the house. So
I don't know.
Exactly.
There's no way to do that.
The second thing is when he came into the kitchen. First off, they forgot the cake was out.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came into the kitchen, they was like, turn around. And he actually turned around and was like, I didn't see anything.
I'm just going to make me some coffee.
Right, I didn't see anything. Bennett is the guy, man.
I enjoy him.
Yeah.
I noted that I was confused why her friend was still there the next morning.
She spent the night.
Like, why?
She got there. Like, they was up at like 2.
Go home. I don't know you. I mean,
that's
she
her
know
friend.
her. I'm talking about Bennett. Like, he don't know her.
Well, I'm just saying.
Whatever. So
what type of friend are you, man?
A terrible one, apparently.
God.
So they got ready to go slap lining, and Amelia gave Bennett a matching outfit. All the way down to the women's tank top.
Yeah, right. That was a woman's tank top.
I felt like it was a woman's tank top. It might not have been, but they
definitely matched.
Yeah, they matched.
That's something we never did.
Yes, we have. We have matching shirts.
Do we?
The Mr. and Mrs. shirts. We have like 2.
Okay, go ahead.
They got there. They did slap lining. He wasn't afraid to fall. They actually did a really good job, or he did a really good job. And then Amelia did a picnic for the 2 of them.
Yeah, that
with
was
his
nice.
cake.
With his cake. Was it his birthday or?
I don't know. And I say that because there was a piñata.
Yeah. And usually you do piñatas at birthdays.
Maybe they didn't want to talk about it being his birthday because that would date the show.
I got you.
So I don't know. But I mean, saying that it was winter dates the show because they absolutely got married in the winter. Yeah. Like Karen had on a long sleeve wedding gown.
I got you.
Last thing up was, or last 2 things that I wrote about them was that they wanted to do a chore draft list. I thought that was clever.
Yeah.
And then Bennett needs to borrow socks because he only has 2 pairs. She has 5. So together they don't have enough. They only have enough socks for one person to wear for the rest of the week. I felt that because I don't know where any of my socks are.
That's crazy.
And I just bought us a package of socks. And so they're our socks. Like, we just gonna wear these socks together.
That's crazy.
Anything else about them?
No.
That's all right. Christina and Henry. We open up with Christina talking about going back on her meds. I think that that's something that she probably should have mentioned a wee bit earlier.
Just a tad bit.
She has ADD and she thinks that getting back on her medication will fix her impatience. The reason that she decided to get off of them is because her mom is against medication of any kind and her mother thought that she needed to get off of it. I don't like that. Like, I think that if you have been prescribed medication for a condition and you thought enough that you needed to go to a doctor to get prescribed medication for this condition, you should be taking the medication for the condition, not because your mother doesn't want you to take the medication. So, like, I disagree with that, but to each his own. They got their expert card, and one of the things that was very interesting about Christina, which I think she has mentioned before, was when Henry asked her, has she ever been in love before? She said that love for her felt like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
She said fighting was normal. And one of the things she liked about Henry was that he brought her back down to earth. He doesn't yell and he isn't mean. And she thinks she understands because of that why they were matched.
Yeah.
I think struggle love is a real thing. And more people need to be honest with the fact that they are dealing in like conflict, essentially. Mm-hmm. And that they have normalized that behavior and that it's okay to step away from that and live a normal, healthy existence. Not to say that this is normal to be married at first sight, but being able to step back and look at it and say, hey, I'm used to starting arguments. Maybe that's not a good trait to have.
Right.
So yeah, I thought that was an interesting thing. I don't really remember much about what Henry said about relationships.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I think he said something about he liked his women to be more aggressive, but that was in a confessional.
Yeah.
And I can see that because Henry has not a aggressive bone in his body about
Not
anything.
Not at all.
You got anything else for that?
No, not for that situation. I don't really have a lot for Christina and Henry just because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. They're a boring couple to me.
So last two things that they did, just move on past that. They went golfing. So he taught her how to swing, and then they went salsa dancing, which was a first for the two of them.
I thought that was dope.
Yes.
The salsa dancing, just because I took a ballroom dance class, so
you did.
I am a great dancer.
I took jazz and tap in elementary school, and I'm not dancing post elementary.
But I think those two outings really helped them get a lot closer to each other and understood each other and worked through something, because he had to teach her how to play golf or swing at golf and everything, and he was uncomfortable with dancing, and so she didn't teach him, but she kind of gave him the courage to keep going, and he finally got it after trying so much.
I think if he had some wine before, because
he probably did, man.
He probably would have done better.
Knowing him, man.
Know what I'm saying? Like caught on a little bit faster.
Can you imagine him drunk?
No, but I enjoy his enjoyment of wine.
Right.
Like so, it makes me smile.
So I think that really is going to help them move further into this situation, just because they're saying the right things to each other right now. I feel like, in this episode, I feel like they're just saying the right things with each other. Christina is opening up a little bit more. Henry is like, opening up to her, and they're having better conversations with each other than they did in the honeymoon. So,
and we're not saying and scene.
Right. This episode, we did not break the fourth wall, is what you call it.
I think that's what they call it.
So we did not break the fourth wall in this episode, so that was great. Funny thing, at the beginning of the episode, they showed he calls Christina because she left and didn't come back for a long time. And then his phone is Christina, MAFS. Like, bruh.
Wife.
Bruh, come on,
just
man.
put Christina, wife.
Right, wife. Christina. Nah, he got her in. Christina, MAFS.
Bae.
But that's all I got with them, man.
All right. So moving on to Woody and Amani. We opened up with them at the nail shop.
Yep.
Getting they toes done up and they fingernails matching.
Yeah.
Amani talks about how she doesn't spend money on her hair because she does it herself. So the nail shop is her splurge.
Yeah.
And Woody just strikes me as the guy that gets a pedicure once a month, maybe even every 2 weeks. Nothing bad about that.
Yeah.
But he just strikes me as that guy. And he's like, it's me time. They did have a conversation about Amani changing her hair. I'm hoping that Woody is starting to come to terms with that, because like,
I think he needs to realize, like, for me, it looks too controlling.
It does.
Like, you have to realize, like, man, she gonna do what she want to do, so you might as well just jump on board. Like her and love her for who she is, not what she looks like. Because she's gonna change just like you're gonna change. And it's nothing you can do about it. Like, what if her hair falls out?
Right. What if she gets alopecia?
It like, things happen to people. So you love that person for their character. You fall in love with that person's character.
Look, I'm talking about alopecia. Like, have a baby. I went bald in spots.
Never even noticed that.
Because I got that much extra hair on my head. Just swoop it over and cover some things up.
But I thought it was cool that they, went to the nail shop together. And, because that's one thing that we did. You know, I had an issue with going at first, but it's not about me.
Rona.
It's not about me.
Rona interrupted our spa days.
Yeah. But I think that was cool of them. Yeah.
All right. So they get their expert card. And one of the questions was, of course, everybody's talking about falling in love. Amani and Woody discussed if they had ever been in love before. He said he had been in love before twice. I think she said just once. And he said he's fumbling over his words. And then he said, I got love for you. And then he said, I love you. And Amani was like, I'm Amani in that situation. She said that she's growing towards love, but she's stopping herself. And that's been a theme in their relationship. Yeah. She doesn't want to be hurt, so she's stopping herself from experiencing everything. And I feel you. We're 2 weeks in. We still are just in the representative stage. Right. It's a lot harder to be on 24/7 in the representative stage. Because you're living together at this point. But I do think we're still in the representative stage. Then Amani tells him that she's growing, but not, I'm sorry. That was the next conversation. That's when she went to look for alligators, apparently, with Olivia. Yeah. Olivia and her had a conversation about growing in love. And she said, Olivia told Amani that she was growing, but not by leaps and bounds. And Amani said that she's growing in love more and more every day. I don't know how you measure that.
I don't either. I don't think it is. I think that they got too many emphasis on love, which sounds crazy.
But we don't know each other.
Right. Like, I
feel like I'm there too. Like, we don't know him.
Okay. I just feel like, you know, like you have to love your spouse. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the requirements of being married, I feel. But you're still getting to know this person. So you're able to say, hey, I love where we're going, or I love where we're at. You know what I'm saying?
I'm enjoying the current state of our relationship.
Right.
Things like that.
You're right. But to say I love you, which, you know, you can say that, but don't be so. If I say it, then you say it. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, if you love a person, just tell them.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
See how easy?
So easy. You got anything else?
No, I really didn't have a lot for you.
I'm going to say, I wrap it up. At the ending, Amani cooked what I called an I'm not in love with you dinner.
What was that?
Like, no, she just cooked dinner. And it was like, he walked in the house and he was like, what? My wife cooking dinner? And I was like, yeah, he did get I was like, this is an I'm not in love with you dinner, Woody. Don't get too excited. It looked good though.
It definitely looked good. I'm not in love with you dinner. That's messed up.
That's what I wrote. Cooking and I'm not in love with you dinner.
A burger.
How do you wear a burger? A burqa. Tommy was like, what is a burqa? So I guess he and Woody went to school together.
Yeah, we did.
All right, so you got nothing.
What is saying? I'm going to get some mayonnaise and mustard inside you up.
What? And she was like, what?
We did a terrible job of explaining that.
It is what it is. So nothing else for them. We'll move on to the last couple, Olivia and Brett.
Yeah.
They didn't have their like exchange before the expert card, so they just immediately started out with the how will you know when you're in love question, as well as how are you going to actively fall in love in this relationship. Those were the questions that were on the card.
Yeah.
Brett said that actively falling in love was her reminding him to floss.
Yeah, I don't think Brett likes the situation that he's in.
He doesn't. And then he said he has to be falling for her in some way because he emoji'd her.
Yeah, Brett's weird. I ain't gonna say he's weird. He's peculiar. about the things that he do. But I don't think, well, it doesn't seem that, I ain't gonna say he doesn't like her, but he just doesn't like now that he's in it, he's like, I really don't really want to do this.
Mm-hmm. There's too many things in the relationship for him that were red flags. Or not even red flags. The budget part was a red flag for him.
A big red flag.
But her making more money than him, I don't think that he was okay with that.
Yeah.
Of course, the way she spends her money, that's the budget aspect. He's not okay with that. And then also the fact that she doesn't necessarily want kids and he does. He hasn't said anything about it, but I could imagine that is an issue.
Man, even in this episode, when they went, what's those things called? Alligator.
They went on a swamp tour.
They went on a swamp tour. And he definitely didn't enjoy himself.
He started opening up at the ending when they got to actually hold that alligator and see the frog.
Yeah. But other than that, he just looked like, man, I don't want to be here.
It wasn't even that he looked like it. He was saying things that were very reflective of, like, didn't he at one point in time say, can't we just pull this thing over and get off?
I don't know.
Like, if you ever been on the swamp, there is no pull over and get off.
I wouldn't want to.
There
but
just isn't one.
I just feel like, man, you have to take these opportunities that you have and make the best out of them with who you're with. Mm-hmm. Like the situation may be boring, you know what I'm saying? But you have to make the situation, whatever it is, enjoyable and memorable for, in this case, your spouse. Mm-hmm. You know, because those are always going to be things that you go back and laugh at, because we have one with the dude in church with the chicken. Yeah. So anyway, we'll explain that on the podcast because it's not about us. It's about Married at First Sight. But
the ending of that swamp boat tour, that was the last thing I wrote down, was that he did offer something at the ending of that, because he did put his arm around her and he talked about what their next outing could be.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was, though.
Well, we saw in the previews that they're going doing trivia, that he really didn't want to participate in.
That wasn't her idea. I mean, that wasn't his idea, because the one that he suggested was actually his idea.
Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. But you just have to enjoy those times, man, because you don't know, you know, when the next time you're going to get a chance to, as well as how often you're going to get a chance to. So you have to carpe diem and then seize the day with that. Yeah, that's all I got.
I don't have anything else either.
Yeah.
I am interested to get to the ending of this. Well, not the ending of this season, but I remember at the beginning of the season, they were talking about somebody had a crazy ex. I'm ready for that episode.
I wonder who it is.
I don't know, but I'm ready.
Well, we are in the middle of the season. We've done, this is episode 9. What's your mid-season? I guess we can say this is mid-season because they usually have like
about 18 to 20.
17, 18, yeah. So mid-season, what's your take? Who's staying and who's divorcing?
Amelia and Bennett stay. Amani and Woody stay. I'm going to say that Karen and Miles stay together. And Christina and Henry divorce, and Brett and Olivia divorce.
I'm going to say the same thing.
And I'm going to say that Brett and Olivia is absolute, like, both sides want to, like, just throw it all away. And Henry and Christina, Henry is like, I mean, I tried. And he'd be like, if she would have done XYZ, then it would have worked. Like, he would give his disclaimer. Christina's not going to do that.
I say Christina and Henry are both going to say get a divorce. But I say Brett is going to say he wants to stay together. And I'm going to say Olivia is going to say she wants to get a divorce. Yes. I see that coming.
Throwing a little spice out there.
But I definitely think everybody else is going to stay together.
I hope everybody else stays together. I hope Karen works through her. We got to get Karen, what is it? Talk space? The at-home therapist. We gotta get her one of them because of the coronavirus.
She gotta just open up the doors, man. But I hope all those couples, they get it together and they, happily ever after. I'm such a believer in that. So
the end.
Right, exactly. Happily ever after. So
all right, guys. So please like this video, comment down below. You guys are always the comments are always so interesting. Like, I enjoy reading them. I try to respond to as many of them as I can.
I like reading them too.
Yeah, he's always like, did you see this? So just because y'all don't see him necessarily responding doesn't mean that he's not reading. He probably reads them more than I do.
No, I don't.
You probably do.
Okay. Whatever.
Like this video, comment down below. Please share the video and turn on the notification bell because we actually are putting out more content in the next few weeks between this channel and our other channel. So I'm going to put the links down below for the other channel as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. So bye, guys.
Peace.